What is going on, everyone? Badger here. And if you're anything like me, you are well into the apathy stage. Anytime you hear one of our beloved franchises or TV shows or anything like that is being adapted, I mean, over there at Amazon, it's more confusing because they're two for two. They've done horrible with Wheel of Time and the Rings of Power, but they've also done really, really good with Reacher and Terminal List. So it's confusing. And with Netflix, which is what this is about, they have done horrible with things like Death Note, famously with the fans, and of course, The Witcher, which, boy, if you were a fan of the books or, Geralt from the games, they're just horrible all around. Now, they have One Piece, which by all accounts is really good. And by also all accounts, the reason that's good is because they had Oda, the creator of it, who, gave them permission and was crucial in its creation, including telling them, nope, redo it, redo several episodes or rewrite it. It's not my characters. A lot of people saying they've learned their lesson. I don't know. We've heard back and forth. Now we're talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender, not the blue people, the actual Avatar, one of the greatest cartoons ever. Was the first cartoon I watched on streaming. I'm going to date myself, but back when we got fast enough internet that could you actually stream a show, DSL. Oh, now DSL means something else. Heyo. Uh, Avatar: The Last Airbender. They at Entertainment Weekly talked to the showrunner, and if you know already, the original creators left this adaptation, so now it's a showrunner. His name is Albert Kim. Let's see what he has to say. When Albert Kim first got the call from Netflix to work on the live action series adaptation of Avatar: The Last Airbender, his response was close to, hell yeah. The writer from Pantheon and executive producer from Sleepy Hollow had become a fan of the original Nickelodeon cartoon, which is considered sacred territory by many. I would postulate it's sacred territory by anyone that's actually watched all of the seasons. He watched initially, and it's good. It says he was a fan. Let's see if he wants to faithfully recreate his fanhood or if he wants to change them and fill it full of agenda. Let's see. Watched initially thinking he would need to explain the concepts to his daughter, but then became completely consumed with the saga himself. The storytelling alone was just so epic and much beyond the audience it was targeted for. He tells Entertainment Weekly in December, marking his first interview on the new drama. Then, to borrow a turn of phrase from the animated show, everything changed when Brian Konietzko and I think he actually pronounces it Brian Konetsky, but and Michael Dante DiMartino, the original creators of Avatar, departed the Netflix project after being involved for 2 years. This should be really worrying. This is one red flag for sure. Is the fact that the original creators left. Their public statement in 2020 came as a blow to the fandom. DiMartino mentioned he couldn't control the creative direction of the series. And while he acknowledged Netflix live action adaptation of Avatar has the potential to be good, and anything has the potential, it ultimately wouldn't be the show he or Konetsko set out to make. Now, see, and that's the issue. That's the issue. What were they trying to change that the creators went, no, this isn't the show anymore? While all parties appeared to part on good terms, appeared being the key word there, the creators are now working on multiple other animated Avatar projects. Kim admits it absolutely felt daunting to continue the Netflix adaptation as showrunner without the original creators, and it should. You have to be an idiot not to be intimidated a little bit, he says. My first reaction after hell yeah was holy shit, do I really want to do this? Is there a way to improve upon the original? No. No, there's not a way to improve upon the original. The only thing you can do is faithfully convey it in like modern film terms, live action terms, but you will not be improving. You will only hope to be embodying the greatness that it was, just like Lord of the Rings, or even Harry Potter, for fuck's sake. Uh, his answer is, if it's not already obvious, was yes. Oh, sorry. However, how you tackle something that's already been, you have to ask yourself. Well, yeah, he said yes, he did it. Okay, that's good. Not to mention, it's more than 15 years since the original went off the air. Yeah, which means you now have the responsibility of realizing that you might be introducing entire new generation that will watch this and only this and not even know about the anime, which is why you're not going to make it better, but you certainly can't make this worse. It has to be at least in the same spirit. That was really appealing to me, being able to bring this story to a new generation. Yeah, yeah. So don't change it. Don't change it. In a medieval influenced world full of benders, yeah, they're just explaining the world. If you please go watch the anime if you haven't. If why are you here? If you haven't watched the anime, you're just ready to hear if Netflix is about to fuck up another beloved show. Probably, we'll find out. Knisko and DiMartino's presence is completely absent from the live action series. Traces of them still exist. Kim sat down with the duo in the early days before their departure to pick their brain. Boy, I hope he picked them thoroughly. He recalls it ran from the range of really nerdy little things that no one except for diehard fans might wonder about. Questions about Guitar's mom or Aang's parent. By the way, the worst part about the Shamalama Ding Dong movie was that he kept calling Aang Ong. Like, bro, did you even? Clearly, he didn't. Aang. At the same time, he stresses this is Avatar: The Last Airbender, but this is our version of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I don't have enough faith to take that in a good way. That to me is a second big red flag. Bro, don't make your version. Make the version. Peter Jackson wasn't making his version or Miramax or no New Line Cinema. It wasn't making New Line Cinema's version of Lord of the Rings. They were making Tolkien's version of Lord of the Rings as best that they could. I'm terrified with it. We're making our adaptation, which means you're going to put in your politics, your social, even though you said you liked it. Again, he didn't say that, but that's you know, I've been trained to be hurt by these people. That's what they've been doing so far. Just because they've had one exception with uh One Piece doesn't mean they're out of the fire. For one, we don't start the show the way the animated series starts, Kim says. There was a conscious decision to show people this is not the animated series. Oh, good. Get it out of the way. For another, we had to sometimes unravel storylines and remix them in a new way to make sense for a serialized drama. The original was a serialized drama, so no, you didn't. So I'm very curious to see what will happen in terms of reaction to that. People will be upset, and you're probably going to fuck up the narrative. In the end, the pacing. In the end, the team's goal was to remain true to the original spirit. Okay, okay, while delivering a massive, sweeping fantasy. Fine, fine. If that is the end goal, just true to the original spirit, even that gives a lot of wiggle room for fuckery. But all of our writers are also fans of the original. Good, fine. So they drew upon their own personal experience and the things that they love the best. We made sure to include all those in the show. I hope so. I really do. People have been hurt before. We all have. I'd love it. Look, trailer looks amazing, but so did the trailer for Halo, right? Don't think we need a whole fucking rant about Halo to tell you what's wrong with that. Trailers can look good and then come out and be horrible. Have horrible represented characters and stories, but hey, said a lot of the right things. So I I guess they were both red and green flags. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe if you already have. Thank you very much. And if you are yet to do so, I appreciate it. Either way, I'll see you on the next one.